We. Okay. So I sent a little bit of stuff on verbs, which is where we're now getting to. Right. Hopefully you can see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you've had a chance to read this. You've all got the book. I'm glad to see that some of you guys are working using the book sort of independently, which is great. So I'm giving a quick introduction to pages 3 and 4 in the book. And this is kind of a bit of an overview from 30,000 feet. So I've had to simplify slightly. And in fact, I give details in the footnotes. And there's a ton of footnotes you can see coming down here. In fact, there wasn't even enough space to put all the footnotes for this page on this page. So some of them carry on to the next page. So anyway, let's brace ourselves.
Go.
Okay. So Greek has basically got 4 tenses. Now, it depends a little bit how you count it. And if you really want to get technical, you can start talking about things like aspect and things like this and modality. But let's not go down that road. Let's try and keep it a bit simple in terms of overview. So we've kind of got a present tense, which is something like now or generally. So for example, if I say in English, we'd say, I am eating, you can say it's present tense. That means at this moment, I'm putting food in my mouth. On the other hand, we can say, I eat fish on Fridays, which we probably also would call a present tense, but today isn't Friday, so I'm probably not eating fish. So anyway, that's a present tense. Then there's a future tense in Greek, which is actually quite easy. They just put tha at the beginning of things. I think we've encountered this already. There's also a tense for possibilities. The posh name of this in English is subjunctive, which is kind of scary, but actually it's really easy in Greek. Instead of putting that at the beginning for the future, you just put nat at the beginning, and then you've got onto that tense. So for example, if I say in English, I want to eat, in Greek, you say, I want that I eat, okay? And the second bit, that I eat, isn't actually happening, and it's not necessarily happening in the future. It's just something that I want. So that's why it's a sort of possibility. And this occurs a lot in Greek. We'll see it a lot. So for example, after can, you would use this. After let's, you would use this. As a way of instructing somebody, you can use this as well. So a bit like an imperative, if you know what that is. Okay, and then there's a past tense as well. So that's my way of counting 4. Okay, oh, got a typo here. And these then, each of these has got 2 forms. A form for one event, for the thing happening once, or something for a sort of general pattern. It's repeated many times or continuous or something like that. So if you multiply this up, you actually get 7 rather than 8, because the present tense only has 1 form. Okay, so all these other ones, they're sort of in pairs, and the pairs of them are distinguished by introducing some S sound into the middle of the verbs. So exactly how this is done depends on the last consonant in the verb just before the endings. So if I could just mute you all, then you can sort of say some of these. That's wrong. I wanted to go, participants, mute all. Oh, you guys have already done it. Okay, so if the consonant is made in the middle of the mouth, so things like n, z, d, t, if you just want to say those sorts of things, n, d, z, t, these things all go to s, which is also mainly in the middle of the mouth. If it's at the front of the mouth, so the lips, so things on the lips are things like b, p, l, v. Are there some more? F. These are all with the lips. So these ones all go to ps, 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 psi, which we took a question on earlier, I think, earlier in the week with psi. Okay. If it's at the back of the throat, so say with me, g and k, then it goes to ks, ks. So that's the sort of very squiggly symbol. And in fact, the main place where you see the squiggly symbol is in verbs, not so much in other places. Okay, we're probably not going to get onto that too much today. We'll pick it up more next time because I'm going to be focusing on the endings. Feel free to unmute yourselves now and sort of join in and ask questions. That's a bit of mouth warm-up exercises. Okay, so at the end of the verb, we also have endings to distinguish whether the verb is for I, whether it's for you, singular and friendly, whether it's for he, she, it, whether it's for we, whether it's for you, which the many form or polite, or they. Okay, so there are 6 different possibilities. And conceivably, this would mean then that for all of the 7 that we've had so far, we would have 7 times 6, 42 different possibilities for the endings, which would be a nightmare to try and remember. So things improve a little bit. We only have 12 or maybe about 15. So it's still a fair few, I'm afraid, which is why it's going to take us some time. Okay, and then we also have what you may know as the passive tense. So a lot of verbs, the doer is doing. So if I say I'm eating, then the eating is being done by I. Whereas if I say I'm being eaten, then something else is doing the eating and I'm the one that's suffering from it. So perhaps you would know that as the passive tense, or you could think of it that the done to object is actually doing the doing. So that then goes and doubles up the endings according to which way around it is. If you're into your New Testament Greek, then in New Testament Greek, you also have a middle form, which is things that you do to yourself. So things like I dress myself, I'm getting dressed, that would be the middle form. Whereas in modern Greek, that would then be in the passive form because it's being done to me, even though I'm also doing it. Sometimes the distinction isn't quite the same as what we would say for English. So for example, I come, and you see that quite a lot in New Testament in the Gospels when it talks about when they came to a town. That's in a passive form, erchome, whereas I come in English, we would see as an active thing that you make yourself be somewhere. But then again, I suppose since you are doing something to yourself, perhaps it's more like the middle one. There we go. There's something to think about. Okay, so the verb ending tells you whether it's for I, whether it's for the you, the two yous, whether it's for he, she, it, whether it's for we, or whether it's for they. So what that means is normally you actually leave out the I, the you, the he, she, it, the we, or the they. And I think we've come across this before. You can put it in if you really want to emphasize that. So for example, in the Gospel of John, where Jesus says, I am, in English, in Greek, he's not just saying I am, which would be ime. Actually, in New Testament Greek, I think it's imi, but anyway, it's ego, ime. I am. No one else is, only I am this thing. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. How many are there in the Gospel of John? Is it 7 or 8 I am statements? Okay, homework for Peter, count them.
No idea.
Yeah, I think you probably know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got all these endings, and what we're going to do to help ourselves is we're only going to focus on 3 of them, which are the main ones that you have in worship. Now, looking at the songs that we have, unfortunately, they do all include the other ones as well, so we'll probably end up picking them up. So let's take the verb to worship in Greek. So the Greek verb, New Testament word for worship is latrevo. Okay, so we're picking up the I, the you, which is singular and friendly, and the we version.
Can I interrupt with a question that may or may not be relevant?
Go for it. Don't let me stop you.
This, I don't remember the names of the letters, but in the worship, this EU that says Ev.
Yeah.
Is there a standard rule for when it's F and when it's Ev?
Yeah. It depends on the sound of the next letter.
Okay, so if it's a sound that you can vocalize,
it's v.
singable, then it's
yeah. Yeah, not vocalized, voiced, I think was the word you were looking for.
Voiced, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. So vowels are voiced in English. In some languages they're not, but in English they are. And then quite a lot of other times they are. That's the rule.
And it's F if it's followed by an
Yeah.
non-voiced. Okay, thank
Exactly
you.
right. Yeah. Good question. Okay, so these are all vers. Yeah. So ver is in the front of the mouth. So jumping ahead, if we wanted to go to the other form when I said these things were in pairs, you would say la trepso. And I think that exactly the verb you asked me about on the WhatsApp chat.
Yes, that was the one.
That was the one. Yes. Hey,
Yeah.
actually answered the question. Yeah. So this, although this might look like a vowel, it's actually a consonant sound. It's a ver. Yeah. And ver is the front of the mouth. And as I said, the pattern for them is s. So it becomes la trepso in the other one of the pair. So if we're talking about I will worship and it's I will worship one time, then it would be thala trepso. If it's I will worship always or continuously, it would be back to thala trevo. So you choose which one you want. Yeah. And if you're not really thinking about it, they normally choose the one just for one time. Okay, so where were we? La trevo, la trevis, la trevume. Okay, and you can see the endings written down here. Okay, so you've got the stem bit before, and then these are the endings, and these are pretty standard. Okay, if it's the other way around, if it's the passive tense, then you end up with these endings, which I will say them, but I wouldn't suggest learning them at this time. We'll sort of come to them. It's a little bit of a shortcut we'll come to shortly on this. So just saying them, we have la trevome. So this is just an AI by itself is just an La trevome, la trevese, la trevomaste. So this tonus, you see, has had to move because the long vowel has to be one of the last three. And because I've got two vowels here, the E and the A, if I'd left it, okay, it's written on the U, but it's really on the E when you say it. So this is la trevome. So the long bit is the la trevome. You can't in Greek say, what would it be? I'm going to struggle because I'm not used to saying it this way. La trevomaste. La trevomaste. That would be fallback from the end. It's not allowed to be. It has to be on the last three. So it's gone and moved up one because this is a long ending. Okay, we'll see more of this later on. Okay, hope you're still with me. I think we came across the noun iagapi, which is the love. As a verb, it would be agapao. Okay, and what's different about this is this hasn't got a consonant just before the ending. Okay, so all that when we were practicing before how it was changing and what was happening, this is if it's a consonant before the endings. If it's a vowel, there tends to be a bit of merging going on, or well, severe merging. So agapao, you can also actually say agapo, which is probably quite common. You'll see this quite a lot in songs as well. And these mean exactly the same thing. There's no difference. So here the merging has been that the long a has just disappeared and it's put the length onto the ending. Then for you, we do have agapis. So if we take the ones like we had before, la trevo, la trevis, and la trevume, we can read the bottoms of the pairs. So we've got agapo, agapis, and agapume, which are basically the same as what we had for la trevo, except the tonus is moved up a bit. Do you see that? The long vowel is further up in the word. But you also have the other endings, which are quite common as well. So you would have agapao, agapas, and agapame. Right? And I would say probably the most common you come across would be agapo, agapas, and agapame. So they kind of mix them a bit. So here we can see the different endings being stated explicitly, and that minus really should have come down there. So I need to fix that as well. I'll make a note of that. I got up early this morning to write this. 5 o'clock in the morning I got up because I ran out of time at the weekend. And I'm not good 5 o'clock in the morning.
We
In fact,
appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah,
I think that time should be made illegal in my books.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
second that.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's decided. Yeah. If Titos was here, there probably wouldn't be too much sympathy because he probably gets up at that sort of time anyway. Admittedly, the clocks are 2 hours different, so it maybe doesn't feel quite so bad. Right. So again, skirting over the done to doing case, the passive case, we can see the endings are sort of similar. We've got the me, the se, and the olmaste. We've got an extra iota, e, that comes before. And also this vowel here has changed. This is eme, and this was ome. So for what it's worth, this would be, and this is a e, which comes before a vowel. So hopefully you'll remember that then means it becomes a y. So this is agapime, agapise, agapiome, agapiomaste. These are not forms I use very often. Okay, so again, let's not worry about them too much, but we're about to come back to them. So another verb that follows this pattern is proskinao or proskino, because as I said here, agapao, agapo, so proskinao, proskino. Okay, and this is the form of worship that you find in the Old Testament, and literally, this pros means towards something, and kino is I move. So the literal meaning is I move towards, or it can be I bow to, or I bow towards. It's quite interesting why this word changed between the Old Testament and the New Testament. So when I say it's the Old Testament verb, I'm saying in things like the Septuagint, which was translated, is it 200 BC, 300 BC? So slightly older version of Greek, but not much older. You read in Acts about all the Hellenic Jews. So these are people who are Jewish by heritage and perhaps did go to the synagogues, but had also become quite Greek and had lost the ability to speak Hebrew. So that's why Jewish scholars translated it into Greek. So you do get the Old Testament in a form of Greek from about 200 or 300 BC. So I talked about this a little bit in our book. What was it, pages 105 to 106? So if I just refer to it briefly. So in the Old Testament, so halfway down on page 105 in the book, I'm quoting bits of John 4 with the woman at the well. And at the time when she asks about worship, it would be Old Testament style of worship. You have to go to a place and you have to do a certain thing. You know, you bow down and you submit to God. Whereas in the New Testament, worship is all our life. Worship is how we should be. It's not just singing. I know, Enoch, you play music and so on, but as I'm sure you will freely admit, music is only part of worship.
Yeah, small.
We exist really now to serve God, to glorify God, and in a way to serve each other as well. And, you know, if I don't love my brother or my sister, then do I really love God? 1 John would say no. So basically what happened was the word changed, and La Trevo used to mean I serve, but it got a new meaning of this Christian worship, which is all your life given unto the Lord. And that kind of worship, it isn't that you have to bow down or you go to a certain place. It's your whole attitude, your whole everything. Which then actually meant, if you turn over the page, that the old word that was describing serving also had to, that they would have lost that meaning. So another word, epireteo, it became epireto in modern Greek, which used to mean the kind of service that a slave would do when they're on the boat at the very bottom rowing. That then became the word that was used for Christian service. And, you know, we are slaves of God. He has bought us. So there's an interesting language study there. Let you read more on that and study it yourself if you wish. Okay, so one last verb before we get going. The verb to be. Okay, this only has the done to doing forms. In other words, it looks passive. Its stem is essentially E. So this is E, and it's got the line on it, so it's E. And then it's got this bit about the endings changing because there's a vowel before it. So comparing these ones, ime, ise, imaster, we've got the me, the se, and the master, and we've just got a bit of merging going on of the vowel. So basically, I'm saying if you learn this, which you really have to, because it's such a common verb, we see it all over the place. You've done most of the work in learning the endings for the passive forms. You've just got the messing around with the vowels to learn. Okay? So let's start putting some of this into practice. Any questions? Silence.
No, I think I'm all right.
Okay, famous
It's
last
just
word.
a lot. I don't know.
It is a lot, yeah. But what I'm trying to do really is get us to focus on these three. Okay. So la trevo, la trevis, la trebume. And these ones we will pick up. Ime, ise, imaster. When you meet somebody in Greek and they ask you, how are you? One of the ways they say this would be ise kala. And as we know, kala is good or well. Ise is you are.
Ise polikala.
Very good. Well, actually, yeah. But that.
Can you say that?
Are you meaning that as a question or as a statement?
No, I'm very good. Isn't that, can't you
Yeah.
add poli?
Yeah, but you have to use ime
Oh, shoot.
because it's
Yeah.
I.
Ime.
That was good, though.
It was brilliant. Loved
That was
it.
great.
Thanks.
Yeah, awesome, even. American awesome. Yeah, English brilliant, American awesome. Yeah. It's great. I love the questions and the way you're putting things together. And really, we learn, to be honest, we learn probably more by our mistakes.
Mhm.
And so this thing, having said ise polikala, you might want to say to somebody, you were very well, but, you know, maybe a bit less likely than ime polikala, I'm very well. Yeah. Or imaster, if it's all of us, imaster polikala. Yeah. Okay. So moving on. So let's move on to a song. So I'm turning to page 129 in our book. I'm about to bring it up. I should check my screen. It will be easier if I do it that way.
Right at the back of the book, you know?
What's that, Enoch?
Right at the back of the book.
Yeah. Yeah. We have covered this song in one of the lessons.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was the last one.
Days of Elijah.
No, the one after.
Oh, yeah, it was last month's one.
Yeah.
I watched it on the thingy.
Yeah. It's an interesting experience watching this, isn't it? Because it's kind of a bit of a rough video, but then that's how it is.
Yeah, I always sort of like speak or try and ask a question and then remember that it's on YouTube.
Yeah, sorry about that. you know, you can always WhatsApp me if you want to.
Yeah. There's just that reflex of like, because I'm on here.
Fair enough. You can put your hand up and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's talk through this. Okay. I don't know if one of you wants to give us a go. Who's up for? Actually, we haven't prayed. Oh. Enoch, pray for us, mate.
Okay. Father, thank you for this time that we get to just come here and learn a new language, a new culture, and just be enriched and just encouraged by the world that you created and all these different words and languages that you sort of just set up for us to speak and discover. Father, we pray that you just soften our hearts, our minds, Lord, that when we learn things, Lord, they we can just take it in a lot easier than we normally would, Father. We ask for wisdom, we ask for understanding, Lord. Help us, just make us more receptive to the lesson today. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so here we go. Proskinun. Okay, now that was one of the verbs that we covered. Unfortunately, it's not one of the endings we covered. There you go. As I've said, it's they. So if you really wanted to write it on the list, but the other ones do occur. But anyway, it could have been proskinor. I bow down and worship. But the songwriter, well, actually the translator has chosen to say they bow down and worship. So proskinur. Okay.
How would you say it if it was we bow down?
Proskinume
Nume.
or proskiname. The two.
It probably doesn't fit with the rhythm of the song.
It's got too many syllables. It's got the extra on the end. Yeah. I think that could be the reason. Okay. Now, this ton, this is a version of the. Can anyone remember what version of the this is?
It's the one that I didn't like.
That's right.
Accusative. Is it accusative?
Accusative, yeah. Something's being done to it. Yeah. And it's the masculine one. Yeah. So that's why it's become that. And endoxo would have been endoxos. Sorry, I made this too long. Endoxos with an S on the end, but that S gets dropped because it is in the accusative form. Okay. Yeah. Good answer. Okay. And then we have it again. Yeah. Because this is what we're worshipping, or what they are worshipping. And it's the thing that this is being done to. Yeah. Tonam no, which is the lamb. Actually, that's another word which is a great study. This version of lamb, did I talk about this before, about it being the sacrificial?
Not with Christina and Jessica. I think you mentioned it in our first lesson or second one.
Yeah. But I think Christina and Jessica, I think you probably did watch it on the recording as well.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So when who is it who says, "Behold the Lamb of God," right at the beginning of the Gospels?
John.
Yeah. It was John the Baptist. What a fantastic revelation it was, you know. Yeah. Okay. But again, it would be amnos because it's a masculine word, but it's lost the S because we're in the being done to version. Yeah. If you look at it in New Testament Greek, it's actually got an N on there to match this. It would be ton amnon. So that's changed between New Testament Greek and modern Greek. Similarly, with here, they have N's on the end in New Testament Greek. Okay, again, ton axio, same story again. Okay, who is who? This is a word that we probably ought to learn, but you'll pick it up because it's just all over the place. Ine. Okay, unfortunately, that wasn't on my list either. I had ime and ise, which is I am and you are, and this is he is, she is, it is, and actually it's also they are as well. So in this case, it's for the he, it's the one person. Okay. Omegas theos. Okay. These have got the S's on because after ine, ime, ise, all of these, it stays as if it's in the subject form, the doer form.
Wait,
Okay.
sorry, Peter. Can you say the omegas? Yeah.
Yeah, omegas.
Omegas.
No, this is long.
Yeah,
Omegas.
omegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in English, we do say mega. So we are
Mega.
kind of doing it.
I have a question.
Go for it.
I learned who as Theos.
Theos, not
Like-
Theos.
Like who, no, not Theos. Theos with P. Like Theosise, who is.
Huise, huine. So I'm not hearing the question.
I learned it as Phi omega, iota omega, sigma.
Theo.
No. Over for who, for the word who,
Yeah, what have you learned?
Theos.
Oh, Pios. That's a different who.
Oh,
This is the who.
What
course
makes it so
it is.
different, Peter?
This is the who for when you're joining things together, when you're clarifying something. I am the one who you were looking
Like
for.
who or that.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas the pios that you've got is when you're asking it as a question. Who is that?
I've learned Pios ise is who
Yeah.
is. So that's not.
But that's when you're asking a question. Who is such and such?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is such and such.
Oh, so this is like the answer. This is.
No, it's a different one. So when you say pios ise, the pios is like basically an X. Fill in the blank in this sentence. Something ise, what is that something? What is the X? Fill in the unknown. Yeah. This bit in this song isn't an unknown. You know, they bow down and worship the glorious one, the Lamb, the worthy one, who is the great God. We're not saying who is the great God. We're clarifying.
We're clarifying. Okay.
The Lamb, the worthy one.
So
Yeah.
who is used to clarify? Okay. Okay.
It's a very
Right.
good question, though. Quite a subtle answer. Yeah. So in the question form, it definitely would be pios if it's masculine, or pia if it's female, and so on. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. O Christos, or aios. That seems to have lost the mark on there. Okay. Salun, got this un ending again, which is the same one as here, but without the long bit on it. So salo is I chant, and this is the they version of it, probably for the same reason as we said before, why they've chosen that one. Aios, 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 or amnos. Okay, so we had two verbs in, no, we had three verbs. They're all they versions. We've got a they version here. Actually, this is a he version and a they version. Okay, so let's give this song a go. Could you guys mute yourselves?
Yeah.
And me too. Can I invite you all to unmute? Any questions on any words of this?
How come my 8-year-old can pick it up quicker than I can?
That's a good question.
They're amazing. They really are. It's embarrassing. We go to and we've got 5-year-olds who can speak better than us.
Yeah.
And I've
Children just pick up languages faster than adults.
yeah.
Yeah.
Children are amazing. I mean, there's the other side of the coin, which is probably that about half our brains have already died and not been regenerated. But let's well on that side.
I wanted to ask about is.
Yeah.
You know, the lyric where it says, "Who is the great God?"
Yeah.
So how do you say that?
Ine.
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 Ine. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So this AI is just an nothing complicated about it. Nothing like they tried to teach you in Bible college or anything like that. And even in New Testament time, it wasn't I or something like that. It was They can tell by how Greek soldiers misspelt things when they sent letters back.
right.
Yeah.
So with the who before it, is that poine?
Uine.
Poine.
Yeah.
Okay. Poine or megasteos.
Brilliant.
Okay. Poine or
Yeah.
megasteos. Okay.
Okay. I think you've got the link to this song on the WhatsApp further back. I'll be sending them out again.
Yeah. I made a playlist as well, actually.
I have a playlist too.
Yeah, when I got the book, I scanned all the codes and made a playlist.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've only done the ones that we've gone over so far. There's like 3. I just have them on a loop.
Yeah. It's
Brilliant.
good to have a loop, isn't it?
There was actually an easier way to do it, though, Enoch.
Yeah.
If you go on to Greeks for Christ, which is where we need to link into, is set up as a playlist.
Oh, after all that. Thank you.
which is how I got to this. So if I come back a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Proteinul.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay. That song, you know, it's a lovely song, and I think we should be singing it in church in Greek. So if you'd like to play that this Sunday, I'd be well blessed.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've put my request in. I'm not sure what I've done to this session. We'll come back to that shortly. Okay. Let's move on to another song, which is on page 140, which is a new one. I don't think. So on the one we've just done, I don't think we'll be doing it again in any lessons because we have kind of played this one a bit to destruction, I think. But I think it's a great worship song. So it was on my playlist as well. So page 140 in your books, which I think is my page 139 for reasons which I don't really understand. Okay, here we go. Okay, I sent a link to this song earlier. It's a Reuben Morgan song. Hopefully, did any of you know this song?
I don't know. I'm not good with names or lyrics. I just know sounds.
Did you have a chance to play it?
Maybe.
When did you send it?
A couple of days ago. Let's play it. Wrong computer. Where is it?
Yes, I listened to it when you sent it. It's not one I'm familiar with.
Let's play it again, just so we get into it, because I think it's easier worshiping when we know the song. Let me. Is my sound playing to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's all mute ourselves. I might cut this a bit short after one time through,
Okay.
for reasons of time.
In honor of you, we worship and stand amazed at your great love. We change from glory to glory. We set our hearts on you, our God. Now your presence fills this place. Be exalted in our praise as we worship. I believe you are near. As your presence, now your presence fills this place. Be exalted in our praise as we worship. I believe you are near. In all of you.
Okay, that's the English version. Like to unmute yourselves? Okay, here we have it in Greek. Okay, so a treble. Okay, we've encountered that one already. So this is the first example we had that we were talking about. This is theos, and we're doing it with all. As in English, we're worshipping with all. Now you might think it should be they are, because this or is not the thing that is doing the doing. Yeah. It really is in the object form, the done to form. But this is one of those neuter words. I mentioned when we were doing the nouns that there are some neuter nouns that end in os, and those don't change whether they're doers or done tos. So that's why it's got the S on it. Okay. Aha, another verb. Okay, anyone want to have a go at saying this one? Unfair question, I know.
Maso. Maxo.
Let's hear this bit again, modern way.
So
Mazo.
This has got to be either a ver or a fer.
Oh wait, hold on. I wrote that. Oh, I don't know where I wrote it earlier.
Domaso.
Is it Fefmazo?
Yeah.
Mazo.
You guys are brilliant. Yeah, thavmazo.
Domaso.
Yeah. So m is a voiced consonant. M. You can sing it probably better than me. And so because of that, it's a verse sound before it. Okay. And without the zo bit at the end, thavma means a miracle. So thavma is a noun, the miracle, and so this is seeing something which is like a miracle. Yeah, I marvel at, I'm astounded at, I'm amazed at. Okay.
Yeah.
Thavmazo. Okay, and this is the I form. So if it was you worship, anyone would like to say what this would be if it was you? Sorry, you marvel. How would you say you marvel? Singular.
Thafmasis.
Fantastic. Thavmasis. Okay. We marvel.
Thafmaste.
Now look carefully on the list. The
Thafimaste. Wait, no, I don't know.
Is it the ume?
yeah,
Wait.
you're getting it. Say it again.
Fevmaume?
Thavmazume.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Azume.
Thavmazume.
Fevmazume.
Yeah. You might just, I mean, with these verbs, you can make, you can just go through it, conjugate it. Thavmazo, thavmazis, thavmazume. And if you really wanted, you can look in the book and see what the other three endings are that we've missed and learn it as a little sequence. To be honest, that is how I learned them. But we basically spent three months on present tense. And, this is one lesson a week for 3 months. So we need to focus a bit. We're not going to finish if we go at that rate. So that's why I'm just picking the 3. But actually, the other 3 are not that difficult. We've already done the they form. So what would be they marvel then? Come on, I know it's not in the book. They marvel. From the lesson before.
Thafmazamas.
No.
Is it
Thafmazamas.
We saw in the song before, it was O-U-N, they said at the end for they.
Tatmazun.
Brilliant.
Oh.
Yeah, but the long bit has to be the a. Thavmazun.
Fevmazun?
Tatmazun.
Yeah. Okay. And so the only one I really haven't told you is the you plural, which I suppose I better now put you out of your misery. So that would be Thavmazete. So that's E-T-E. That's what that would be. Okay. Tinagapi. Okay, what's this tin? I know it says verb, but what sort of verb is it?
Feminine.
Done to feminine. Done to feminine.
Feminine, done to, yeah. Object form, accusative, whatever you wish. Any posh words or done to if you want to do it my way. Okay. Stin. This word. Can any of you remember this word?
Oxa.
Oksana.
Fantastic. Yeah, you're not tricked by this being a d. It's a the. Doxa. Yeah. Doxa, doxa. Okay, and this is the tin, like we had here, with a s on the front of it, which makes it tuga, which we'll cover more in another time. Okay, we've got another verb here. Okay, who knows the English word prosthetic, as in prosthetic limb?
Yeah.
Yeah, prosthetic arm, prosthetic leg. Comes from the Greek.
Oh,
Here we are.
oh,
This is prosthetic.
yeah, prosthetic.
Prosthetis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
prosthetic.
prosthetic.
Prosthetics.
Yeah,
Prosthet-
prosthetis.
prosthet-
Prosthetis. We'll be singing this shortly.
Prosthetis.
Yeah. And so the is at the end is because it's you. Yeah. So we would have prostheto, prosthetis, prosthetume for the three that we've done. The pros we've come across pros already because we did proskino. So this, as I said, is towards. And this comes from the verb theto, which is to place something. So it's to put something, to place something towards something. And that's got the meaning of adding now in modern Greek. So there we go. Okay. Ke is and. Okay, I know I'm saying it here, but this is a word to pick up. It's all over the place. This is a lovely, lovely verb.
Oh, gosh.
This double M, just a single mus sound. I think I got asked a question on this before. I'm not sure if it was this word, but it was with a double consonant. Anyone want to risk having a go at this one?
Pli,
Plin,
Plimurizis. Plimurizis.
Fantastic. Yeah, plimeresis.
Plimurizis.
Yeah, plimeresis. Yeah, and it sounds nice when you sing it. Plimeresis, kind of the reason I like in it. Okay, and if it's I flood, it would be plimerizo. If it's we flood, it will be plimerizo. So the same pattern over and over again. Tin cardia. This is heart, and this is the feminine done to form that we've had. Okay, this is a word which is lovely to sing. Who wants to have a go at saying this one?
Parousia.
Yeah, make this I a bit longer.
Parousia.
Lovely. Parousia.
Parousia.
Parousia theiki.
Eiki.
Yeah, so these haven't joined together because that's what the dots are telling us, that this isn't just an E like we're talking about. You say each vowel. Okay. Isa, one of the words on our list. You are singular, friendly. Yeah. This is edo, without the e on the front because it's kind of got merged into vowel before. Es often get actually. Edo is here. And you'll hear that quite a lot in Greek conversation. Okay, another care. Okay, this word.
Okay.
Dixie.
Oh, gosh.
He.
Fantastic. Yeah, sihi. Now, this is the word.
He.
Yeah, he. This is where we need Titos because he says it so much better than I do. So, sihi. Yeah, it's right in the throat.
Yeah.
Sihi. We'll be singing it, yeah. And this is the long bit, so you really draw it out at the end. Sihi.
With the throat.
Yeah. So your throat should be good at the end of that.
Clear it all up.
Okay, so this is actually mesa, which has lost the vowel at the end, which is in. Now we're in plural forms of some of the words of the nouns, which we haven't done yet. And we're also in the done to form, just to add to it. So this would be hymnos, would be him, but we've made it plural and we're also doing to it. Okay, this word we've got though. Yeah. Isa, yeah. And then this is emphatic, a C. This is the emphatic version of you.
Isa si.
Isa is C, or Isa C. Yeah.
Si.
And in fact, we go for it again. Mono. Well, we have this in English, mono, only just one thing.
One thing, yeah.
Yeah, so that's easy. Doxa, we've done. Ke. Ah, here we go. Hymnos, the same as what we had here.
Mm.
Yeah, but this is the singular version. Ke. Enos. I don't really encounter this word very much. This word you encounter. Who wants to have a go at saying this one? Sorry, this one here.
Latria.
Yeah. Have you been listening to this song?
No.
No, are you saying it great? You guys,
I've been doing Duolingo every day.
but yeah,
Latria.
latria.
Mm.
Yeah, so this has got to be short, and this one's got to be short, and this is the long one. Latria.
Latria.
Okay, now I like this word. Aeonia.
Aeonia.
So this has become a U, as I's often do before a vowel. Aeonia.
Yeah.
Eternal.
Oh, is that where we get the eon, the word eons?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Eternal.
good catch, Enoch.
Yeah, he's a
Thank
good guy,
you.
isn't he? I know you haven't met him before, but
Smart guy.
yeah. What I love about this is that you guys are really throwing yourself into it as well. You know, we're not taking prisoners in how we're saying stuff, and if we mess up, we mess up. It's good. Well, yeah. Okay, so I'll get to putting the song on. Mute everybody. Any last questions before I do it?
I have a lot of questions, but we'll just do it and then.
Okay, let's do the questions after, Enoch. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's if I still have them. But yeah.
I might have to pop off to start dinner for my fam.
Okay,
We'll see.
I'll play it double speed then.
You guys are eating early tonight, Jessica.
I was literally looking at the time as well, and I thought, oh, dinner.
It's only 4:15. No, wait, yeah.
Okay.
My boys have somewhere to be early. So yeah, I have to have dinner ready by 4:45.
Oh.
Peter, you're some lovely shades of green and blue and yellow and white. And
Με δέωσε, λατρεύω. Θαυμάζω την αγάπη σου. Στη δόξα, δόξα
I really like the pace of that song. It feels something like I could figure it out.
Yeah, it was very nice. I enjoyed that.
I think it's better in Greek than it is in English.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm biased.
There's some really nice words in there.
Yeah. Okay, let's take questions. Oh, Christina, are you about to go?
No, it was Jessica.
Sorry,
I
Jessica.
have to get going.
Okay, can I just announce that the homework then before you go? Okay.
Yes.
So the homework is go back to chapter 1, which is the reading and saying, with all the letters. Just basically, because I went through it very fast in the first lesson, I don't know if you were quite with us on the course, as it were, when we did that. So if you could go through that and just see if there are any questions coming up on how we say some of the letters. Okay. So chapter 1, and also have a little read of the verbs 1 that we've been doing, so you kind of get the feel for it a bit as well. Don't go too far on the verbs because it's hard, but you know, particularly on the reading bit, just so we're very comfortable with that. I think you guys are doing great, but there's probably still a few surprises or things that aren't quite making sense, and I think it is all covered in chapter 1. Okay, so that's the homework, and then I'll be marking you next time. Okay, so you have permission to go and cook.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah, but happy to take questions on this song. Okay.
I think it sort of cleared out whilst I was hearing the words being said. I think it was better. Yeah, pretty good. There's obviously a few tricky words, I guess, I'm still getting used to.
Yeah,
like the marbled one. still, that was tricky for me.
Yeah.
And in the soul. So obviously we did the see,
He.
yeah, see he, but the bit before, just adding that on to, like, I think mainly it's not the individual like words themselves, but it's the blend of the
Yeah.
two words
Mhm.
that can be quite difficult for me.
I'm trying to help you guys out by putting these things on, which they don't do in the Greek, these little
Yeah.
underscores. So this
Yeah.
one is basically isedo, because it all gets joined up.
Yeah.
And this becomes another word, kestin.
Yeah.
Ah, you see, I've lost it now. Kestin sihi.
Yeah.
But this is
Testing.
hard.
Yeah, that's pretty hard.
Yeah, this
So
often it comes before a vowel, so it comes after a vowel,
okay.
and then the p goes and joins on the vowel. Do we have an example? Well, if we say the soul, so as in the soul is doing something, so it's e is the feminine version of the. It's not e sihi, really it's ipsihi.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more or less ip and sihi, if you see what I mean. So
Yeah, yeah.
basically cut itself in half and the p goes over.
Mm-hmm.
But with this n, it becomes a little bit more of a b as well. That's explained in chapter 1, but you know, just go with what you can. And as you, I mean, the song is you know what this song means now. You've heard it in English.
Yeah.
Some of the words you get, you can just have a blasting session playing this because you know, doxa, doxa, that's repeated a lot. Glory, glory, brilliant worship songs. Aeonia, you've got. So honestly, I think it's such a great way of learning stuff, worshiping God. You've got the spirit of it. And yeah. Other questions?
No, that was good. I think for me, it's just mainly listening to the songs. I think listening to them will definitely get it stuck in there.
Yeah, it's probably hard for you because you need to be listening to your music stuff as well for your work. I kind of get time on the train when I don't really need to be preparing things.
Yeah,
Christina,
exactly. Mutes.
do you have any questions on this, Christina?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of questions about Greek,
Sure.
but this song in particular, not at the moment.
Okay, do you want to ask one or two of the other ones?
Oh, I don't even know where to begin.
Do you want to on the WhatsApp later?
I will gladly send you questions when they come up.
No, I'm fine with that.
Okay. Oh, I don't want to bug you, but because I've been doing Duolingo, and then I bought.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel with Duolingo, it teaches us words that we don't really want to learn. Words like
Right? So like, there's so much drama at the mini market. I'm like, really? Pink gorillas, like everything's about a pink gorilla, and I'm like, how many pink gorillas am I going to find in Greece?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But nevertheless.
But I haven't, because I'm in my final semester of seminary right now, so I haven't gotten to like dig into it. But I got this program.
Oh.
That guy, I don't know. And I also got the primary version for her to start working through.
So show us again. I wasn't seeing it. Yeah.
And then she says, I have the primary version for her.
Looks good to me.
So I may send you questions for that.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. If you want to send your questions over, I'll get Enoch to answer them first.
Okay.
Rachel, so you're going to come to Greece?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be lovely meeting you. Yeah. Yeah. Say again?
It's gonna be my first time there.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I haven't met you before in Greece, I don't think. Only your mum.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tito said he'd be the girl's Greek grandpa.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, everybody, it's been good. As I say, feel free to send questions. Christina, I was looking for something on some passage in the New Testament.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one because finding a passage with only like 2 verbs in is quite hard. I have some thoughts, and I am thinking about the woman at the well.
Oh,
That's about worship. It's also got the word PE, which means well or spring. And we see that in a lot of place names in Greece. You would have been to some with PE. So you've got things like Golden Spring, Fresh Spring, or Black Spring. You see these names as names of villages that we go to. It's quite common. So it's a nice word, PE, which is the word for spring or well, and in New Testament Greek as well. So maybe that, we'll see how we go. But I'm trying to get something with a nice scripture, also tying up with songs.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
It's a challenge.
we appreciate all the work you're doing.
Yeah, we do.
Really do.
I noticed that could be very long to find scriptures and and then songs like, guys, this is what we're gonna learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, you can help yourself by having the whole church doing the stuff in Greek.
Yeah. Would be helpful. I'll use my convincing words.
See how well that goes over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll let you know how it goes next month. Lots of love to you all.
All right.
See you guys
Peter,
later.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you once you stop
Oh.
recording, because it's not related.
Okay, let me stop the recording then. 1 second.